Well, hi, everybody. It's good to see you. Before we get into the story today, won't you do me a favor? If you find that you really enjoy these videos, consider subscribing to watch more. Share me out on all your social medias. Give me a thumbs up. Leave me a comment at the end and tell me what you thought of the videos. So let's get into this story. Today's story is when an Appalachian preacher died during a week-long tent revival. When I was a kid, tent revivals were a big deal. We had a family friend who was an evangelist that set up tent revivals all over the county during the summertime. This particular event happened right outside Mom and Dad's door in the front yard. The first few days were so amazing, but the third night is when tragedy would strike. The opening prayer and singing went great. Then the special speaker began to preach. Boy, was it good too. All of a sudden, the man grabbed his chest and fell to the floor dead before he ever even hit. Everyone panicked, but luckily, there was a medic there that had attended that night. She worked with him for half an hour to no avail. She pronounced him dead and covered him with a sheet. His family was so devastated at the passing. But just then, the mountain healer stood up and walked to where he lay, took the sheet that had been covering him away, kneeled over him, placed the hand over the man's heart, and then looked to the sky with his hand raised to heaven and said, "Lord, you know what he needs. Your will be done." And at that very moment, the dead preacher took a deep breath and started preaching right where he left off. The preacher came back to life right there in front of everybody's eyes. The preacher went on to finish that night and to preach the rest of the revival. Doctors say when they went to check his heart, it was as if it was new and it was in amazing shape. The preacher lived another 20 years before he was called home. I just love the wonders of the Lord. He works in so many unexplained ways. This is something that would be hard to believe, but except for one thing. I was there with my mom and my dad and my brother the night this happened. The only reason why the man came back was because the Lord wanted it to. Well, I sure do appreciate you listening to me. I love you to pieces, and I'll see you next time.